The royal wedding. Wait, what? The royal wedding? We don't have a royal family, so we can't have a royal wedding. Why on earth did so many Americans wake up when they could have been sleeping to watch the royal wedding? What is it? Why are Americans obsessed? Well, I'm here to explain it all to you. I think I know. I think it's the dress. We're going to hear so much about the dress. We've already heard so much about the dress. Oh, it was so plain and simple, elegant and boring all at the same time. But what? That second dress she put on afterwards. Oh, was it too much? She's such a typical American. It's like a tennis match, right? You can't keep track of whether it's a good dress or a bad dress, or whether she's a Scarleton American, or whether she's a regal princess, this new Duchess of Sussex. Is that what we're obsessed about? Is it just we're all secretly wedding planners and we want to watch another wedding? No, I get it. I get it. It's actually the chariots, the carriages, and cars. That's what we're into. Or is it the pomp and circumstance? I mean, there was a lot of pumping going on and all kinds of circumstances going on, right? Crowns and castles. What I want to know is, why is there a palm tree in front of Windsor Castle? But I digress. Is it the crowns and the castles? Is it the guest list? How many Americans we can sneak into their country to their royal wedding? See, if we get enough Americans into the wedding list, then it becomes an American wedding, right? Oh no, Tom. You got it all wrong. It's because we are just mere colonialists. They are so superior in every way that they drink tea and crumpets. And they're so formal. Look how formal those Brits are. That's what gets it. It's the formality. That's why Americans are obsessed with royal weddings. But in all seriousness, isn't there something about the fact that all kids grow up dreaming about being princes or princesses, kings and queens? There's something amazing about the fact that this American girl, look on the left, visiting Buckingham Palace, is now a member of the royal family and can come and go as she pleases at Buckingham Palace. But I guess I'm still curious, why is it that Americans are obsessed with the British royal family? There are at least 29 other royal families in the country, in the world. Why are we not obsessed with those royal families to the same degree? Is it because the new Duchess of Sussex is an American? Of course. But I feel like we've been obsessed with British princesses before that. Remember Princess Diana? I think it's the most watched television event of that year in the early 1980s. One of the biggest television events for the world ever. And particularly in the United States. Why are Americans obsessed with a British wedding? I mean, there was an American girl who got married to a reigning prince, Prince Rainier III of Monaco. Were we as obsessed with Grace Kelly as we were with Princess Diana? I don't think so. Well, Tom, just look at the colors, color, black and white, long time ago. That's why. Well, that's ridiculous, because what about Lisa Halaby? She was an American who became not just a princess, she became queen right away, Queen Noor of Jordan. And her king was a real king, an absolute monarch. He can do things like off with your head, and it happens. Americans don't seem to have the same adulation for Lisa Halaby from Washington, D.C., as they had for Princess Diana from not the United States of America. Why is it? Why? Is it because of the common history that the United States has with Britain? I guess so, although I guess the way I remember American history was we fought against the royal family. I think that that whole strongly worded thing about, I don't know, Declaration of Independence? It rings a bell. Oh, and isn't it Harry's great grandfather that we actually rebelled against? Not even just the country, but the same exact dynastical house that we rebelled against is now the house that we're obsessed with? Why should we could be obsessed with other royal families? There's so many to choose from. I mean, the French royal family, hello, they're the ones that actually helped us get our independence from the Brits. What about Napoleon? We got like a third of our country from him. Maybe we should be obsessed with his family tree, out of appreciation for the fact that we got the Louisiana Purchase. We? Or the Spanish royal families. I mean, again, the Spanish helped us fight the British and gain our independence. You got the two guys on the left, brother combo, that were deposed by, oh, look, another Bonaparte. Oh, Joseph. I mean, but seriously, those three guys were all kings of a significant part of the United States, between a quarter and a third of the United States. That's American history. Why are we not obsessed with the Spanish royal family? I mean, you could make the argument, let's drop the French royal family because France is a republic now. Well, hello. Spain is still a monarchy. We should be obsessed with them. I hereby declare American obsession with the Spanish royal family and not the darn British royal family. I mean, we even could go old style, retro, and write in Cyrillic and stuff. The Russians, we got Alaska. Alaska's royal family was Russian. I mean, again, I know, they've died out, so maybe we shouldn't obsess. But hello, what about, I don't know, an American royal family that hasn't died out, that's in America? We have a royal family in this country within the 50 territorial states, and yet we're obsessing about another country's royal family. I don't get it. And just for fun, I mean, we could all be obsessed with the Danish royal family. I mean, look at that hat. Look at how he rocks that hat. It's awesome. 1907. We get not only the island of St. Croix and St. Thomas, but I think they threw that hat in there too. I think we get the hat. Do we get the hat? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm being told right now we didn't get the hat. But look at all these royal families. And yet we're obsessed with the British royal family. I guess it's because the British royal family speaks English and we speak English. I mean, not that we speak the same language, right? We don't speak the Queen's English. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. See, Audrey Hepburn, she taught me so much. Love that, my fair lady. But seriously, I guess it's easier for us to follow the British royal family because we speak almost the same language, different dialects and annoying American nasal accents, dropping R's and picking up R's and making things up. But we can understand each other, right? Harry, I assume he and Meghan can talk to each other, so maybe that's why. But I don't think so. I think that there's an Anglo bias in the interpretation of American history. I think Americans, even though we fought the American War of Independence as well as the War of 1812 against the British, I feel like we still view American history through the eyes of British history. We consider ourselves the inheritors of British history. What about the fact that large segments of the United States were not, obviously the whole United States, North America and South America, was ruled by Native American tribes that had their own, sachems and tribal governments, some hereditary, some not hereditary. You have the monarchies down in Mexico, the Olmecs and Aztecs and Mayan. But we also have these other European royal families that had influence that were our royal families. The Spanish, the French, the Russians, as I talked about, the native Hawaiians, and even other countries like the Swedes, right? The Dutch. No, we have a weird obsession with the British in like that we're still British. We fought a whole war to get rid of the British. I don't know. Is it the fact that there's so much historical and sociological significance to this wedding? Well, sure. The fact that an American woman that a descendant of American slaves and West African slaves is now a member of the royal family, that is remarkable. But that's not why we're obsessed with the entire royal family. We already have been. And I think when we reduce a wedding between a person and his or her spouse to historical and sociological significance, we're forgetting at the end of the day, this is a girl who found her prince and a prince who found his princess. So, yes, a commoner married a prince. Every kid has a dream of growing up to be a prince or a princess, and Meghan Markle had a beautiful wedding. It's a beautiful wedding ceremony to watch. It was nice to put aside partisanship and share common human experiences such as dreams of castles and crowns, weddings, and family celebrations. After all, the British royal family normal, just like everybody else, right? Look at all that normality going on. Sibling rivalry, that is normal. Okay. Mind reading tricks, normal. Look how proud grandma and grandpa is. We relate. In-laws, fighting with your family, it's just fun. They're just a normal family. Dad, I can't hear you, and now my wife and your daughter-in-law, she can't hear you either. No, seriously though, why did so many Americans watch the wedding in the early hours of that day? Why do so many Americans follow the British royal family? I keep asking the same question. I do have a suggestion. I suspect it's because the British have maintained something that the United States has lost. Yes, we all have cute little kids in the family, and, we all try to do our best raising kids and getting little princesses not to stick out their tongues when they're in their fancy wedding dresses, and we hope the kids don't melt down. But at the end of the day, here is a family that represents something more, something other, something extra. Because the British have a commonality. They have a common head of state that transcends partisanship and ideology. And we've lost that in this country, if we ever even had it. The Brits leave the ugliness of the head of government and parliament to the ugliness of prime minister's questions. I mean, look at democracy in action: banging, stabbing, pointing, ridiculing. That's where we are in this 2018 age of social media and Twitter and tax and ugly partisanship, right? And the British, they have their ugliness too, but they still have this family that has come to represent the best of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. I actually feel sorry for them because they're trapped in a role, but they do perform that role so well. Yeah, they go around to ribbon cutting ceremonies. What a job. But at the end of the day, there's a family that everybody can look up to that represents the best of their country. Perhaps the closest thing we have in this country is ex-U.S. presidents. Once you're an ex-U.S. president, you become this statesman-like person that transcends the ugliness of politics. Then, God forbid, you're allowed to have a sense of humor and be friends with the enemy. No, America has no royal family in Washington, no common head of a common religion, no agreed upon specific cultural icon. So we gaze across the pond. We look at a family that symbolizes a nation, a history, and an ideal. A family whose public events and speeches are about commonality, not controversy, ideals, not ideology, and values, not vilification. Yes, there was a wedding. And a wedding is like a magical moment, like a first date, an inauguration. But marriages, relationships, and governance take work. Hard work. The wedding's now over, and soon the honeymoon too will be over. It'll be time to focus on the next step, to bring some of that magic back. Maybe we too can bring some of that magic back into the everyday existence of our lives in our country, with a little bit of hard work, focusing on what unites us as families, people, and countrymen, indeed as humans, and forget about the ugliness. Thank you.